He's coming representing the Lord God. He's coming in the name, representing his Father, because all good sons in the Bible represent their fathers. They learn their father's trade, and they go out and say what their father told them to say. That's the status of Jesus. Representing him, of course. You can't have two gods, so that's not even a question. You cannot have two persons who are God. Of course, if Jesus is preparing the way, then it is Yahweh's way. He's functioning as Yahweh, like the angel of the Lord. That's very easy. The original reference in the Old Testament is Yahweh's way. Nobody fussed about that at all, because they knew they couldn't have two Yahwehs, but they also knew that Jesus could function on behalf of Yahweh, his sponsor, because a sponsor is as his agent's person, Jews say, right? If you're the agent of a sponsor, you are as or like the person of your sponsor. You're functioning for him. That's wonderful. Agency. That's why they failed to recognize Jesus. Many of them did, and some did. The founders of the Christian church under Jesus' supervision are all Jews. So they did. Some did. Others didn't get it clear. They opposed Jesus and finally killed him. Nothing has changed. People are opposing God and Jesus all the time. But this is what he's going to do. And of course, they didn't see the two-stage development here. They saw the Messiah was coming. They didn't see that he had to die. Even somebody with a rudimentary understanding of history knows that nobody imagined that Paul thought that Jesus was God. That would be like saying, what sort of software did Paul have on his computer? That's just silly. So let's get over this nonsense that Jews in the first century believed in a triune God. They absolutely did not. It's a historical fact that they were Jews, and just as I, as a Brit, if I were in England, I would not be singing the American national anthem probably. I'd be singing God Save the Queen. That's what British people do. Likewise, Jesus was a unitary monotheist. Jesus is certainly doing things that Yahweh is predicted to do. All the second coming verses in the Old Testament are Yahweh verses. And they turn out to be Jesus verses in the New. That's wonderful. Yahweh himself is coming in the person of Jesus, if you can bear that, because the Word became flesh. Once you turn the Word into a capital W, all is lost. So John 1:1 reads as follows: in the beginning was the Word, small w, not a person other than the Father at this point. In the beginning was the Word, little W-O-R-D, the self-expression. And that Word was with God. We don't say that your Word was with you, but Hebrews do. If you have your Word with you, it means that your Word is your chief concern. It's your baby, we might say, the thing that is occupying all of your thinking, your planning. So that Word was with God, and the Word was God himself, as the Williams translation nicely captures. There's an emphatic thing there in John 1:1c, the third part of John 1. The Word was God. The Greek reads, God was the Word, meaning emphatic. The Word was God, not somebody else. We might translate with Williams, the Word was God himself. Of course, you are your Word. As a man thinks, so is he. The Word was not somebody else. The Word was God's Word. And that Word finally showed up embodied in a human being who began in the womb of Mary. That's essential. You cannot be human if you don't begin in the womb of your mother. You cannot be the seed of Eve or the seed of David unless you are biologically related to Eve or David. You must be biologically related, in Jesus' case, through his mother. That's obvious, isn't it? So what God did by way of affecting that ovum is not something that's revealed in detail. It doesn't matter. God is the father of that baby, not Joseph. That's very clear. And God then is the one who provides the male element in that baby. But Mary's character, lineage, is absolutely essential. Otherwise, he cannot be the seed of the woman from Genesis 15, the proto-gospel right there early on. He has to be descended from Eve. He has to be descended from David. You cannot be descended from David if you're older than David.